Hello friends, welcome back to Doodles and Drawings. Today we're going to be doing another comic episode where we tell a story with our pictures. The characters we're going to be using today are Elephant and Piggy again, just because they are simple and we're going to be doing multiple panels here, so I wanted to keep it easy. So let's get started. So first things first, we're going to draw our first character. We're going to draw Piggy, and we're going to have him maybe eating some slop, which is his favorite dish. So what we'll do is we'll start by drawing Piggy here. And we're going to show him with his head. And then he's going to have his body, but we're not going to show his feet going up here. And he's got one arm coming in like this. And he'll have one other one like that. And he's going to be holding a bowl. So for the bowl, we're going to draw a big circle like this. And we're going to draw the bottom of the bowl like that. We're just going to erase a little bit of his arm there that we drew in. Goodbye, colored pencil. Lost two important colors, blue and purple. Got a couple colors going here. So we got Piggy. They're falling down again. I'll put them up here by my marker. Okay, and he's holding his slop bowl. And we're just going to draw his eyes and his piggy snout. And he's smiling real big because he's eating his slop. And he's just going to be humming. So we're going to draw just... because he's happy he's got his slop. So there we go. There's Piggy with his slop. And we're going to have Gerald come up to him. And we're just going to draw Gerald's head. And we're going to draw his trunk, because Gerald's got a trunk. He's an elephant. And his glasses, Gerald needs those to see. But he's excited. Something's happening. So we're going to have his body like that. We're going to be able to see a little bit more of it because he's taller. We're going to show more of his body here. And we've got his hands coming out because he's excited. Something's happening. Piggy's got to know about it. Oh, I lost another color. Oh, no, not gray. All right, so he's coming in. He's got something to say. Something big is happening. And he's going to say, Piggy. And because it's an exciting thing he's saying, we're going to put it in a word bubble. And when things that are exciting happen, the word bubble is usually a little bit spiky when you read a comic book or a comic panel. So we're going to put it like that. And that's an indicator that something exciting or scary or crazy is happening. There are these spiky word bubbles. Okay, so he says, Piggy! And what Piggy's going to do is Piggy's going to accidentally spill his slop on him. He's going to fall over. So we're going to show Piggy on the ground here. Here's the ground. Piggy fell over. There's his body. He's got his legs there on the ground, right? Because he fell over. Maybe we'll have one up in the air because that's kind of funny. He's got one of his arms going this way. One of them is coming out like this. Okay, he's got his eyes, his nose. And there's his mouth, it's wide open. And we'll draw his bowl like that. And we're gonna just see slop coming out of it. We'll draw that when it comes out because he fell down when Gerald yelled at him. Maybe he'll say, ah! And we'll have we'll have Gerald coming into frame here. So what we'll do is we'll draw the trunk coming this way. So there's Gerald, he's coming, and we're seeing him from the side. So we're only going to see part of his body as he comes in. Okay. So there's Gerald. He's coming into frame. He's coming from the side there. Telling Piggy something, but his slop is gonna fall all over the place. And Gerald's just gonna say we're gonna have a big, as we're just gonna have this big head here. We're just gonna go real big. Give him the trunk. Overdrew his ear a little bit, that's all right. Draw his arms coming off here. And Gerald's just going to say, hi. So he didn't really actually have something important to say. He was just trying to say hi, but Piggy spilled all his slop all over himself because of it. So now we've got the basics of our comic, and something has happened in our story, right? Piggy was enjoying his slop. Gerald comes and says, Piggy, really excitedly. Piggy drops his slop, and then Gerald says, hi. Right? So that's our story, right? Something has happened. There's been some development in the plot. Now we've done most of the important drawing, so we're going to take our marker here, and we're going to start outlining parts of that we're going to be coloring in later. So we're going to come over here by Piggy, and we're going to outline his body in the first panel. And there's his ears. And there's his head. He's got a mouth. He's got his pigtail, or his pig nose. Those are his pig eyes. Get the rest of his arm here. We'll go around his bowl. We're just gonna have slop in it, and then we're gonna outline his words so we can clearly see them when we color the background behind him. Then we're gonna move over to panel 2. We're gonna get Gerald here, so we're gonna color Gerald in with our marker. Make sure we get our lines. So once again, we're just tracing with our marker. You could be using a Sharpie or just a regular black marker, something that can emphasize those areas. They're setting boundaries so that we know where something begins and ends. Right? We want to know where Piggy is. We want to know where Gerald is. We want to know Gerald's not part of the sky. That's his mouth. He's big, making a big noise. We'll color in Piggy here. Piggy! Trace that. We'll try to replicate our spiky dialogue blog. Remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, so we're just going to try to cover it as best as we can. And remember, the spiky dialogue block means something exciting or crazy is happening, right? So we think, oh man, something big's happening because he's yelling Piggy with that kind of voice block. And then we're going to come down to number 3 here. And we've got Piggy's head. He's falling on the ground. He's like, ah! Because he's falling over. We're going to leave the ground uncolored, untraced, because it's going to be coming a different color. We're going to do the bowl here, but we're not going to do that bottom part because we're going to have stuff coming out. So I'm going to want to be able to erase and then fill in for that one. Here comes Gerald coming in. We'll have his eye like that. He's coming to say something. There he is. And then we'll go to the final panel here. Trace Gerald one more time. He's got a big close-up now because he's gotten closer to us. We can see more of his body. Get his trunk, get his shoulder there, get the rest of his head traced. There we go. He's changed to a smile. He's excited, he's happy, and he's just saying, hi! So kind of a letdown for Piggy, who was expecting some big news there, right? So now real quick, before we put our marker away completely, we're going to just real quickly show the slop coming down so we can see where that's going to be. So this is our slop coming out of the bowl. And now because we've done that, we can show the part of the bowl that's not covered in slop. And we can see that that's where the slop's coming out. We can't see that other part of that bowl because the slop is there. So I'll put my marker away. Now I can start coloring stuff in. So we're going to start off by just doing all of our piggies. So I've got a pink here. Actually, I've got two pinks here. I'm going to go with a darker pink for Piggy this time. It's just my personal preference. I think that looks a little bit nicer. So I'm going to use this darker pink to color Piggy in. Usually he's a little bit lighter, I think, when Mo Willems draws him. But that's what I chose to do, right? Because this is our art with Piggy. So it can be a little different. It's not going to match perfectly with what Mo Willems does. We're going to color in. We've already traced over the mouth and the nose, so we can just color over. Get that nice pink in there. There's Piggy. And then we can do that down here as well. Here's Piggy getting splattered with slop. Poor Piggy. Just trying to enjoy his food, and now he's covered in slop. Or he will be. We don't get to see that part. Then for Gerald, Gerald's usually kind of a light blue, but I like coloring Gerald in with a gray. So I've got a gray colored pencil here, and we're going to do that there. And that's just so that I can color the sky light blue, and it's not going to clash with Gerald. So I'm going to use a gray here, and most elephants are actually gray. So I'm going with a little bit more realistic color for Gerald, even though Mo Willems colors him blue. So if you want to color him light blue, you go ahead, right? He's your Gerald. Not going to stop you. Not going to tell you you're wrong. There we go. We're going to color. There's our first Gerald. He's colored in. We've got our Gerald down here who's walking into frame to tell him something. We're going to color him in. Nice and gray. And then panel 4 Gerald is going to be gray as well. Trying to keep the shading consistent, but it's okay if it changes a little bit. I'm trying to color at an awkward angle just because of the way I'm sitting right now. But you might be sitting at a table, might be a little bit easier for you. So it might be easier for you to keep it consistent. There we go. Gerald's looking much better, all colored in now. Ready to say hi? For our bowl, let's see, what color of a bowl should Piggy be using? Probably a brown bowl. Let's get our brown out of our colored pencils here. We'll color in our bowl. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to get our green we used for the slop, which is right here. And we're going to draw the slop inside of the bowl. And then what we'll do is we'll take the brown and we'll color in that edge there. That's not covered in slop, that's inside the bowl. We'll do the same thing over here. There's his bowl. Slop's coming right out of it. It's going to land on him. And then we can start coloring in background stuff. So we can get the sky in the background and the ground. So I'm going to say maybe they are outside. So we're going to cover the ground here, which we have in the third panel, orange. Maybe it's a little dusty. So we're going to color in that ground real quick. There we go. And then for the sky, maybe it's a little bit brighter out. So we're going to color it like a darker blue. It's getting towards supper time. So it's a little bit darker out. And see, now that we've traced the we can see it even though I've colored it this dark blue. It's still there. Still emphasized. So we know what he's saying. Then what we're going to do is we're going to keep coloring in all of our sky back here. We're going to keep the Piggy part different, though, because it's something important, right? We talked about how the spiky text bubble means something important or different is happening. So we're going to color that in differently. We're going to make it pop. Make it seem more important by changing its color. And that's going to draw the person who's looking at this picture's eyes to it. Because it's going to be like, oh, that's different. I want to see what's inside of there. That's what emphasis really is. It's making it so that the person's eye, the person's attention changes from looking at maybe Gerald or Piggy to this box of text. Oh, you know what? I forgot to trace. Ah, silly me. Well, good thing I caught it. Here we go. Ah, there we go. Piggy's falling down. There's this slop kind of come falling down on him. Color that in. Be careful over by Gerald here. Make sure we don't get blue all over him. There we go. Goodbye, colored pencil. I think that was my red. All right, one more area to color in blue. Ah! We be losing colored pencils left and right. Good thing they didn't go too far away, right? We can pick them up. Now, some of you may be wondering, why are all the skies this shade of blue? Isn't that going to be very similar? If you think about Elephant and Piggy's books, the backgrounds are all very similar. They don't change very much. So that's part of the reason why. It's also just more simple for this picture. But yeah, you can always vary your backgrounds and make them a little bit more different. That's always going to make them a little bit more fun to look at. And then for our Piggy speech bubble, we're going to color it red. That's going to be a stark contrast to the blue that the sky is. And that's going to help, once again, shift the attention towards the words in the thing. Because it's going to be like, oh, that's big and red and everything else is blue. Why is that red then? And so then when you look at it, you're like, oh, yeah, I got to read that. And Piggy. So there we go. There's our comic with Elephant and Piggy. Where Piggy spills his slop on himself, unfortunately. Thanks, Gerald. And next time we'll explore some other kinds of drawings. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you soon for some more doodles and drawings. Adios.